Good morning, students. Students, in our previous lecture, we discussed how to find out the electrode potential of a single electrode. And I told you that to determine the electrode potential of a single electrode, it is to be connected with another electrode whose electrode potential is known to us. And that was called as a reference electrode. As per the syllabus, the reference electrode was considered to be standard hydrogen electrode or normal hydrogen electrode, in which the oxidation potential or the reduction potential was considered to be the 0.0 volt. Now, today we will find out what work will be done by the cell and what is the relationship between the work done by the cell and the free energy change. Student, always remember, work done by the cell will be equal to the amount of charge multiplied by the cell potential. So, work done by the cell, if you solve it up, work done by the cell, this will be equal to the amount of charge multiplied by cell potential. That is N into F into E is a cell potential. Here N is the number of electrons lost or gained during a redox process. F is the Faraday of charge and E will be the cell potential. What is N over here? It is the number of electrons lost, the number of electrons involved in a redox process. F is Faradays of charge. F will be a Faradays of charge. And this will be 96,500 coulomb. And E over here will be a potential which is called as a electrode potential. The value of E is a potential and this potential is known as the electrode potential. So, work done by the cell will be equal to number of electrons involved, Faradays of charge and the electrode potential. Or I must say over here, not the electrode potential, this will be a cell potential. This is a cell potential. Now, just see very carefully, student. This is cell potential. We all know the decrease in the free energy will be equal to the work done by the cell. We have studied this in the earlier also. So, decrease in Gibbs free energy. Decrease in Gibbs free energy. This will be equal to the work done by the cell. So, decrease in the Gibbs free energy will be equal to the work done by the cell. Now, decrease in the Gibbs free energy will be given by the symbol minus delta G. And what is the work done by the cell? This will be equal to N into F into E. E over here, as I have already told you, it is a potential of the cell over here. It is a cell potential. Or we may say delta G will be equal to minus N into F into E. Remember this formula, student, for determination of the work done by the cell. Fine. And this delta G was equal to the work done by the cell. So, we may write it up, work maximum by the cell. Maximum work done by the cell will be equal to minus N into F into E of the cell. Minus N into F into E. You must know these formulas to calculate the maximum work done by the cell. Now, if this free energy is a standard free energy, or we may write down delta G dot, this will be equal to minus N into F into E dot of a cell. So, delta G dot will be equal to minus N into F into E dot of a cell. Am I clear? So, this is how we may find it out. So, delta G dot will be equal to minus N into F into E naught of a cell. So, work done by the cell and the free energy change. Work done by the cell will be equal to the amount of charge into cell potential. Am I clear? What is the amount of charge? Faraday's of charge multiplied by the number of electrons. Cell potential is E. So what is the work done by the cell? N into F into E. Now we all know that any decrease in the free energy, this will be equal to the work done by the cell, or minus delta G will be equal to N into F into E, or we may write down delta G will be equal to minus N into F into E naught. If you want to find out the maximum work, this is a maximum work will be equal to minus N into F into E. However, if the changes are made at the standard condition, the formula will be delta G dot will be equal to minus N into F into E naught cell. So this will be the another concept in the syllabus which we will be utilizing to complete. Am I clear? Now the next very important concept is a Nernst equation. We will be deriving a Nernst equation for you, which actually will be the relationship between the cell potential of the reaction and the quotient of the redox reactions. So Nernst equation. Next is Nernst equation. This can be the another important discussion over here, which can be asked in the board. In fact, in the board examination, they may ask you to establish a relationship between cell potential and the reaction quotient for the redox process of a cell. So relationship between, it will be a relationship between cell potential, relationship between cell potential. So relationship between the cell potential and between cell potential and the reaction quotient for the redox process of the cell, and reaction quotient for redox process of the cell, for the redox process of cell. Am I clear? How do we solve it up is very important. Suppose we consider any reversible reaction, and the reversible reaction is M1A. Consider a general reaction. Consider a general reaction. This general reaction is M1A in the form of a gas. It reacts with N2B. This again is in the form of a gas. And this is an equilibrium bit. N1C in the form of a gas plus N2D, and this again is in the form of a gas. Now, if we apply the law of mass action, then we can find out the mass action ratio, or this can be called as a reaction quotient. This will be equal to the product of active mass of the product, that is C raised to the power N1 into D raised to the power N2 upon A raised to the power M1 into B raised to the power N2. Am I clear? What we are trying to do? We are trying to find out the relationship between the cell potential and the reaction quotient. We have considered a general reversible reaction. This is M1A in the form of a gas plus M2B in the form of a gas is in equilibrium with N1C in the form of a gas and N2D in the form of a gas. We know in the reversible reaction, we will find out the mass action ratio, and this will be product of active mass of the product to the product of active mass of a reaction. Fine. Ratio of product of active mass of the product to the active mass of the reactant raised to the power stoichiometric coefficient given in the equation. Now, we have a relationship in which the Gibbs free energy is related to the reaction quotient S. Now, the relationship, just see this one, delta G, that is the Gibbs free energy, will be equal to delta G dot plus R into T log base E of our reaction quotient. Log base E into Q. Is it clear? So decrease in the free energy is related to the concentration quotient or mass action ratio by the relationship delta G will be equal to delta G dot plus RT plus log base E into Q. Now if you put over here the value to the base of 10, so we may write down, or we may write down the relationship in this one. Delta G will be equal to delta G dot plus 2.303 RT plus 2.303 RT log base 10, and this will be Q. Log base 10 into Q. Am I clear? Now here, student, if I put all the values, in fact this is being done at a temperature of 25 degrees C. Fine. If you solve it up, now we have done over here that delta G dot is equal to minus N into F into E naught cell. Or we may say, what is this delta G? Just prove. Delta G will be equal to minus N into F into E. Clear? Delta G dot is equal to minus N into F into E naught. This will be equal to minus N into F into E naught of a cell. That is at the 25 degrees C. Then plus 2.303 RT log base 10 and Q. Log base 10 and Q over here. Now if we solve this relationship, what do we get? Dividing by NF on either side. If we divide by NF, we will get E will be equal to E naught minus 2.303 RT minus 2.303 RT upon NF log base 10 and Q. Tell me whether I am getting it clear or not. Now if you consider at the standard condition of 25 degrees C, we may put up all the values at 25 degrees C. Putting all the values, E will be equal to E naught minus 2.303. What will be the value of R? 8.314 into 298 upon N. Faraday charge will be 96,500 coulomb into 96,500 coulomb. This will be log base 10 and concentration quotient. Am I getting clear? Solving it up, solving this, we get the relationship E will be equal to E naught minus 0.0591 upon N log base 10 Q. 0.0591 upon N log base 10 and Q. This is a Nernst equation and is a relationship between the cell potential and the reaction quotient. This will be of immense help to you in solving the various numerical problems. So E will be equal to E naught minus 0.0591 upon N log base 10 into Q. This is how we do this. Now further we will do the equilibrium constant for the redox reaction. Now the next is how to find out the equilibrium constant of a redox process of the cell. So equilibrium constant of a redox process of the cell. Equilibrium constant of the redox process of the cell. Of the redox process of cell. How to find out the equilibrium constant of the redox process of the cell? Student, we all know at the stage of equilibrium, this concentration quotient Q will be equal to the equilibrium constant, and Q will be equal to K or equilibrium constant. Am I clear? So at the stage of equilibrium, the concentration quotient will be equal to the equilibrium constant. What is this Q over here? This is the reaction quotient. This is the reaction quotient. And what is K? This is the equilibrium constant. This is equilibrium constant. Am I clear? So Q over here will be equal to K. Now secondly, always remember at the stage of equilibrium, or in fact we also know that the oxidation potential of anode will be equal to the reduction potential of cathode. So this was the first point. Second will be oxidation potential at anode will be negative of reduction potential of cathode, will be equal to the negative of reduction potential of cathode. We all know this. Now if you find out the EMF of the cell, EMF of the cell will be equal to oxidation potential minus the reduction potential. This will be equal to oxidation potential of anode plus reduction potential of cathode. Oxidation potential of anode plus reduction potential of cathode. And since they are of the opposite sign and equal, as the cell is in the equilibrium, so EMF of the cell will be equal to 0. So always remember, at the stage of equilibrium, cell is fully discharged. That is, at equilibrium, cell is fully discharged. At the state of equilibrium, the cell gets fully discharged. If you plot a graph here, in between the reduction potential and the progress of the reaction. If you plot a graph between the reduction potential and the progress of the reaction, and reduction potential. We all know, as we proceed ahead in the reaction, so we will have this as our oxidation half reaction and this as a reduction half reaction. And definitely at a certain stage, the equilibrium will be established. So this is a stage of a equilibrium. Am I clear? As already told you, at the stage of equilibrium, the cell get fully discharged. So this is oxidation half reaction and reduction half reaction. Oxidation half reaction, and this is a reduction half reaction. Oxidation half and reduction half reaction. Am I clear? Here it will be the stage of equilibrium. I think I shall be very clear, student. So at the stage of equilibrium, the cell gets fully discharged, and I must say that the potential of both the electrode becomes equal and current stops flowing in the circuit. That is, the potential of both electrodes becomes equal. Potential of both electrode becomes equal and current stops flowing in the circuit, and the current stop flowing in the circuit. Flowing in the circuit. Is it clear or not, student? Now, we all know, according to the Nernst equation, if we discuss over here the Nernst equation, what is the Nernst equation we have? We have E cell will be equal to E naught minus 0.0591. E will be equal to E naught minus 0.0591 upon N log base 10 and Q. This is at what temperature? At 25 degrees C. Now at equilibrium, E will be equal to 0. Yes or not? So equation will be modified to 0 will be equal to E naught minus 0.0591 upon n log base 10. If we solve up this, so what do we get? This is instead of Q, we may write down K because Q will be equal to K. So over here we may write down K. I think I shall be very clear. If we solve this sum, this will be log base 10K will be equal to n into E naught upon 0.059. Is it clear? Or K will be equal to NP log of n into E upon 0.059. n into E naught upon 0.059. Remember this formula to find out what equilibrium constant. Is it clear? When the reaction is at equilibrium, the cell potential will drop to 0 and the cell will stop working. And then the last concept of this lecture, prediction of the feasibility. Prediction of the feasibility of a redox process. Prediction of feasibility of redox process. What will be the prediction for the feasibility of a redox process? Student, always remember, for the feasibility of a cell reaction, delta G has to be negative. Delta G is equal to minus N into F into E naught. E naught is what? EMF of the cell. Now, for feasibility of cell reaction, for feasibility, we all know delta G has to be negative. Yes? And for this to be negative, E cell has to be positive. Hence, E cell, this value will be positive. Remember this. So what is the condition for the feasibility of cell reaction? E cell of the reaction has to be positive. So I think the lecture of the day must have been very, very clear to you. We have done with you the work done by the cell and the free energy chain. We have done a very important reaction, which is a Nernst equation. We discussed the concept of equilibrium constant of the redox process of the cell and the relationship between this equilibrium constant and this. I think the relationship is clear. K will be equal to NP log of n E naught upon 0.0591. And for the feasibility of a cell reaction, E cell has to be positive. So I think, student, the things must have been very clear to you. In our next lecture, we will conclude the theoretical part of this chapter by discussing the electrochemical cities. Rest has been reduced in the syllabus. So we'll meet again in the next lecture. Till then, thank you.